So the whole reason I even got on this and made the review was because human safety is a big issue for me. I mean, it's just, there's no price on a human life, period. Not one is worth more than the other. And to have complete and utter disregard for it is just, it's unacceptable. It's immoral and not right. And I feel like as a human, we should do any and everything that we can to help another out if we're capable. Now, I don't feel like I was helped in any situation. I wasn't made to feel safe. I wasn't made to feel any type of anything except that it was all about money to me. Like, it was all about money, and that's not what lives are to me. It's more than that. And I want everybody to feel safe. And I want somebody to do something, especially when it's their responsibility. And I have a thing with follow through. I don't expect anything from the world. But if you tell me something and you have something set, like going in, then I expect you to follow through. And I don't think they did. And it's not WoodSpring, that's not the first issue that we've had with them. But it's obviously severe enough for me to blast it. I mean, because it's becoming a safety concern for not just me now, for everybody else. Because who's to say they'll not do it to somebody else? And not everybody has voice. Not everybody's brave enough to, get out here and say something. I mean, I'm taking a lot of risks as it is, with my whole safety issue on this, but it needs to be heard. And I mentioned to that supervisor, I said, I will be heard. If nothing else, I will be heard. Everybody should be able to. And I wasn't that day. We're selling our house, so therefore we're staying in rooms a bit, and so we're doing weekly stays. And I bought a week over at the Wichita North location and stayed there 1 week, and then paid for another week. And then literally, like, as I was up there paying for that week, I looked up and realized there was an employee there that no, I didn't know that he worked there, but I knew him from previous experiences and encounters, and so, like, it was a shock coming into seeing that. But then as soon as that happened, like, that was when, like, I kicked in gear. Like, he and I had issues outside of there, so it was not a good, safe environment for me at that point. And so really all I could do is I didn't stay there that night, and then, like, I immediately called like, as soon as I could the next day, because he was on shift. Like, had I called, I would have got him. And so, mind you, I sat on the phone for almost an hour before I spoke to somebody. And I guess they said that I was supposed to have called the hotel first, which, okay, ideal. I get that. But the situation at hand, it wasn't beneficial to me or anybody else around. And so I called the number that the WoodSprings website gave me. I spoke to a lady. She wouldn't even give me her identification, because I was like, I want your ID number, stuff like that's what you're supposed to get when you talk to a call center or something, to identify who you spoke to. And she, just multiple times would not give me any identification. I had already requested to speak to a supervisor, and she refused me that. And finally, like, it got to the point where I was like, you guys are just disregarding my safety. And they literally told me, go back to the hotel, make it right, give him another chance. I said, okay, at this point, this is a matter of my life or death. And a chance is just not worth that to me. I said, and it bothers me, it flabbergasts me how easily you guys can disregard human life. Like, and you can put a price on it first off. Like, and even ultimately, they didn't even put a price on it because they like were refusing to help me in any way. And like, the best they could do was they contacted the, because I guess each location has a different owner or whatever. So they didn't even contact the owner. They contacted the manager, and like I said, they kept telling me that, I was safe and I didn't have a reason to not be. Mind you, not once did they ask me of my interactions with this dude. Not once did they ask me, who he was or anything, or like nothing. They did not inquire anything, any information, but proceeded to call the hotel where he answered, and they told my whole business, my name, all of it to him. So therefore, that right there put me in jeopardy even more. And because they didn't ask me any information, how are they supposed to know that was him that they talked to? You know what I mean? Like, because when I spoke to the lady again, when she clicked back over, she tells me, oh yeah, I spoke with such and such. And I said, are you freaking kidding me? Like, at that point, I was hysterical. I was like, you don't understand what you just did. I was like, you put my life in even more jeopardy than it already was. I'm like, you don't understand the background of what is happening here. I said, and obviously you don't want to know. You haven't asked me. And so it got to the point where she just kept saying that I had to physically go back to the hotel to check out, because my belongings were there anyway. So I did need to do that, yes. But the fact of the matter is he was still there. It was not in any way resolved. They, at that point, I wasn't even asking for a refund. I asked for a relocation. That was all. And they were like, sorry, because it's, each owner's separate. We can't even, we have no authorization to do that and everything. So, they called, and I, once it got to the point where they were disregarding my safety, and mind you, I was standing outside in 90 some odd degree weather because I couldn't go back there, and that's ultimately my home at that time, and so, at that point, she, oh my goodness, she screamed at me. Like, she literally stuck her face into the phone and was, like, yelling at me. And at that point, I probably did use a profanity word. I'm sure of it. But as soon as she said something about it, I didn't say it again. And then she said that I did and was trying to disconnect me. And I was like, I swear that is going to be a big issue if you do that. Like, I was like, at this point, supervisor now. And she was like, okay, well, at this time, and she had said this multiple times, my supervisor's handling other calls. I said, I don't care. It's not an option anymore. I said, you give me a supervisor or I go to corporate. Plain and simple. I said, this all could have been avoided. I didn't want any money back. I didn't want anything like that. I just wanted to be relocated. I said, I would let, and once I finally got to the supervisor on the phone, he literally verbatim said exactly the same stuff she said to me. I said, so again, you're telling me that there's nothing you're doing and that my safety isn't a matter of life or death right now. And I said, I would like to know your safety policy and your requirements on that, because as of right now, I believe that's like highly illegal what you're doing. And so mind you, their best offer to me, because they were telling me that the hotel, if I went there, checked out, that they would give me the remainder of my my refund to go stay somewhere else. I said, okay, here's the problem. That takes 5 to 7 business days to get back on my card. I said, I don't have 5 to 7 business days. I'm standing out here in the elements now because I couldn't go back there. I said, I've been up all night. This was probably 3 o'clock at this point. And I said, I've been up all night. I'm hot. And it was good on humanity's part, but sad on his part. A homeless guy just walked over and handed me like $2 because he heard my situation. Like, exactly. Like, and I'm like bawling at this point. And I'm just like, I said, that's sad that this guy has more regard for my life than you do. I said, would you tell your child to just go back and take a chance and let them make it right? No, you wouldn't. If you have children, I'm not sure if you do. I said, but have you ever been in this position? I'm assuming not. And he was like, no, I completely understand. And I'm like, please stop telling me you understand. And stop telling me, like, you're sorry for my disappointment of the results. I said, it's past that. I said, this is unacceptable. I don't know how you guys treat people, but this isn't it. This is not it. So ultimately, I had to wait for somebody to come get me, take me all the way back over there, and I made it, I don't know, 3 minutes before the office closed, and I was told that when I made it back that they would refund my card right there. And then when I made it back, the lady had no idea of what I was talking about, like, and I understand she was just another front desk person. She wasn't informed, and like I didn't get like upset with her. And she was like, well, the best thing I can do is in the morning have the manager refund your card then. She's like, but you call. Now, mind you, the next morning, I went and there was a dentist expo here in Wichita. It was free dental care once a year. It happens. They pulled all my teeth. So at that point, I'd been up for 2 days. And I had to, I mean, my account was like so far, it's still so far into the negative because I had to pay for another room that night. They offered me 8,000 reward points for another room, which, mind you, I had to have a deposit for. And I'm like, you guys, I just gave you $292. That was every bit of money on my card. I said, you don't understand. I'm not working. I'm waiting on my disability. I said, so what I have is what I have. That's it. I said, and I couldn't, that's why I couldn't wait 5 to 7 business days, because I needed a place to go then. And actually, I'm still in the bad results of this happening. So they did, the next morning, they did finally, they issued my account 8,000 points, and I was able to book a room. But because of my teeth that day, I didn't even get to go to the room. So them points just poof, gone. So again, I didn't get anything for that. I told him, I said, at this point, not only do I want my refund, but I feel like you guys should pay for my relocation too. I mean, at this point, it's 2 days later and I'm still stuck. No. Unacceptable, and that's not how customer service is. I've worked in customer service my whole life, and that's just not how you treat people. It's not how you treat people out of customer service, you know what I mean? I don't know, I am completely flabbergasted on the behavior of the call center and the hotel, because the manager, she was like, well, you're lucky you even got a prorated refund. We don't even give refunds. Okay, so you guys don't care about people's safety? I mean, I don't know. I just, never in my life have I ever been treated like that. I mean, honestly, like I said, I mean, they didn't even, so 2 nights that I had to pay for, they didn't give me back on my, like, I didn't stay the night at all after paying for the second week. Now, mind you, with that said, I know it sounds like weird because I was there a whole week before. Not once did I have any interaction. I didn't even see him like at all at the property. Like, not once. And my girlfriend, actually, the association is she used to work with him at Walgreens. And so she had been with me that week that I had stayed. And she had no idea that he worked there either. But as soon as I saw that he did, that's when I took action. You know what I'm saying? And like I told them, I said, had I had that knowledge, I wouldn't even have went there. I specifically chose a location way away from any interactions of anybody for a reason. I did that specifically for a reason, and it wasn't even him. But as soon as I saw him, it was fight or flight, time to fly. Because I'm not fighting, I'm too old. But honestly, I think about the only thing they can give me a week. I mean, that would be, I think, more than fair at this point.